Hello friends, my name is Alex Karekis, and I want to welcome you to the Finding Lost Civilization series. Today I'm at a place called the Parowan Gap in Utah. Now the interesting thing about this location is that it contains the symbols of an ancient people called the Fremont culture. Now some of these symbols are believed to be astrological in nature and connected to some sort of calendar. Another interesting aspect about this gap in the symbols is that the Hopi tribe of today believes that the Fremont people that passed through here are related to them as part of their migration story. Well, anyways, I think this is going to be a fantastic day, and I invite you to join me on this trek.
It's 3 miles to the river that would carry me away. And 2 miles to the dusty street that I saw you on today. It's 4 miles to my lonely room.
Friends, when I visit petroglyph sites, I'm sometimes very dismayed to see graffiti on ancient symbols. But sometimes they're pretty interesting when they're placed in a location away from the actual petroglyph. Before us we have one that's very interesting. This one here is dated 1839, and what it has is the skull and crossbones beneath it. And it was done by someone with initials FB. And here's one dated 1887, and there's one dated 1882. But I want to show you one piece of graffiti over here that I find somewhat surprising. Because as I said, in my mind, I think to myself, if someone was educated, they would have the sense to know not to place their graffiti near petroglyphs. But look at this one over here. This one is by a fellow called O.E. Waldenbrand, D.O., meaning Doctor of Osteopathy. And it's dated October 7th, 63. I would assume that this person was educated, but yet his ignorance speaks loudly here on this wall. Friends, let me share something interesting with you about these petroglyphs. There are several ways, actually, to make these designs. There's the abrasion method, where generally speaking, you abrade a rock lightly against the patina. Then there's the pecking method, where you take a harder stone and you peck your design in. And then there's a method called the incision method. And this is where you take a hard stone and you incise it deeply, deeply into the symbol. And this is here one of these type of petroglyphs. This is a deeply incised. In other words, a hard stone was used to make these deep grooves here into this petroglyph. I'll tell you, this is really interesting. Right here, you can see all three styles used to make these symbols. Look at this beautiful spiral or circle symbol over here. Very deeply incised. Or actually, oh my goodness, as I take a closer look, right over here, this one is a pecked one. You can see the pecking here. Let me share this wonderful, I guess, little surprise here at the Parowan Gap. Look at this, my friends. I've not been in here before, but just by looking at it, I can tell you that this was a habitation shelter. There's no doubt in my mind, because it afforded an opportunity for the ancients to rest in a place where they were safe from the elements. Well, let's go inside and see what we can find in here. Let's see if we can find signs of ancient man in here. Well, right away, yes, I can tell that ancient man was here. You see the ceiling over here? You see these black marks? That came from soot. There were campfires in here, so there's no doubt in my mind that the ancients once stayed overnight or maybe for a while inside this small little cave. And oh my goodness, friends, I have never been here before, but look at these symbols right before us, right here, these ancient symbols. Can you see them? This is really wonderful. Well, there's no doubt that ancient man visited this cave. So look at this over here. Now this is an interesting one here. This is a series of 1, 2, 3, 4 circles all connected with a line. This is very interesting. I've seen this symbol many times before. And oh my goodness, there's an incised circle pattern right over here in front of us, right there. I'll tell you, this is wonderful. There's no doubt in my mind that ancient man not only visited this small cave, but stayed here. These are the evidence. These walls provide the circumstance of why ancient man was here. He lit fires to stay warm. He lit fires to make food. My goodness, what a wonderful little home. Well, this is the view from inside the small shelter. This is really fabulous. Let me show you something else that's interesting here at the Parowan Gap. Right here before us we have what's called a rabbit bush. And the ancients that lived here at one time would chew the roots of the rabbit bush just like chewing gum. Now another use for this plant was that when it flowered and bloomed like it is right now, it was a signal that the piñon nuts were ripe for the picking. And piñon nuts were also a food staple used by the Indians that lived in this area. You know, they had a great connection to the elements in their surrounding plant life to sustain them. This is something that I think modern man has lost today. Well, friends, I've had a wonderful time trekking at the Parowan Gap, and I hope that you've enjoyed your time with me. So I invite you to keep trekking with me as we visit ancient sites that time has long forgotten.